What's up, Dreamer Size? It's been another bad year of reading for me, but I inked out enough books to actually make a top 10 list. Also, between you and me, two of my favorite things this year weren't even books, so stay to the end of the video to see what they were. It's actually been a pretty great year for me for social life. I just had trouble getting into reading, so I want to do things a lot different for this year because I just had a tough time getting into reading. So I want to really just change what I read and get away from 1900s literature. But some cool news first. I did write a short story and it appeared in this volume with all these other authors. The short story is called Entity. It's by the Holland Project. Unfortunately, the sales tanked for this volume and Daniel puts in a lot of damn work in these and it just wasn't panning out. So it's going to close by the 20th. So if you want to read my short story, please go buy this. The link will be in the description below. And the story is called Entity. It's about a monster that melds minds together. And I'm pretty happy about it. So to start off this top 10 thing, it's actually going to be like a top 12. In my top 10 debut novels, I actually did 9. I forgot to put Name of the Rose in there. So we'll just add a little extra in here. And this one will be 1, Valencia by James Newlick. I did like this novel. I have 10 pages I have to read. I don't know what happened. It's always kind of tough to judge friends' books and people you know and stuff like that, but my top 10 list isn't really this is the order I rank these books. The top of the list and the bottom of the list do kind of indicate pleasurability, but the numbers are all interchangeable. So I definitely recommend Valencia. And also another little shout out. Volume 1 of the Holland Project is Christopher Robinson. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you probably heard that name a bunch. He has recommended me a bunch of books. Most of my channel is books he's recommended, to be honest. And he has some short stories in this one. And you know what? They actually influenced this short story I read. His writing style was really nice. And he's working on a little something something. So definitely give him a chance and follow him on Instagram as well. He's a super swell dude. All right, time for the meat and potatoes, boys and girls. How many of you are there? Anyway. Speaking of women, my first one is 13 Girls by Makita Brotman. Man, when I reviewed this book, nobody watched it. It was unfortunate. And that's because this is actually a really good book. She writes about 13 cases that actually happened regarding murders. And the thing that impressed me is that just the vibe and the feel of it. And she was just able to get into the mind of these killers or the victims that were involved. And it's not gratuitous, but you really feel the gravity of the situation and the murders that are happening. And the fact that she was able to do this 13 distinct times, really great. And she actually has a big bibliography, but just not a lot of presence. So please check her out more. I gotta check her out more, definitely, for sure. Next up, we got The Tunnel by William Gass, which I technically started last year, 2021. I just took a lot of breaks and I finished it at the beginning of 2022, around after I did VITs. Man, there's parts of this book that I enjoyed and parts I didn't. I just want to put this on the list too, just to brag about it a little bit. I enjoyed Valencia a bit more. This book was about 200 pages too long, and there is going to be a review out, but if you read this book, you know how much of a pain it is going to be to review it, and oh my lord, it has a bunch of cat hair on it. I took this book to Africa, and that is The Piercing by Ryu Murakami. I haven't read Murakami in a while. He was one of the first authors I got into after Haruki Murakami, because I accidentally thought Coin Locker's Baby was by Haruki Murakami. But damn, this is a really good book. I still love him as an author. This book is about a guy. It's Impulsive Thought, the book. It's a guy who has a baby and says man, what if I just stabbed my baby with a knife pick? You know, I really want to get rid of this urge, so let me go stab this prostitute. And the commingling between him and the prostitute prostitute's a fucked up person too, beyond known prostitute standards. And it's just a really great, dark book, and just really intriguing, slow pace, and the tension is just there throughout it. I really recommend Ryu Murakami. It's my 6th book by him. I gotta do a video on him. Now we're getting into books that I did reviews on. That's Cows by Matt Stokey. Stoko? Whatever. Man, this is a messed up book. He calls his mom the hag beast. It's a guy who works at a cow factory and just enjoys seeing the cows suffer and gets hard on by that. And this is his mother he calls the hag beast. And they had one of the grossest things I've read this year, and a lot of literature as well. The hag beast like eating, the hag beast cooking is disgusting. This whole book is just super nasty, but it's also pretty well written for what it is too. I don't want to say for what it is. It's a pretty well written book. I really enjoyed it, and definitely give this one a read. Okay, so how about a little break, guys? I'll talk about some stuff that's not book related, actually. So I really loved The Northman this year. That movie was still incredible. Oh man, I maybe want to turn to travel by stories and just read a bunch more of that Viking literature and everything like that. Then that faded, but I still love the movie a whole bunch, and I definitely recommend watching it. It's like one of the best mythological books you'll ever watch. Let me put it that way. It's amazing. So another thing, as you can probably tell by my shelf, is I got into model kitting this year. That pretty much took up the bulk of my year, I'm not gonna lie. This is the first model kit I finished all the way. I have a heavy arms over there, but it's not complete. But this Megatron, the gold is pretty damn dusty. Custom colors, I was pretty happy about that, but now I think it sucks. Here is my best done model kit for the year. It's Epion. And I saw a black one on Instagram with gold. Oh, there's a smudge on the back I gotta fix. And this thing just fell off, damn it. There's some problems with this one. But I did my own custom color schemes, and I really love the effects of matte with metallic colorings. And I use like 13 different paints on this guy. And there's still some little flaws I gotta fix on it and go back to and finish up his weapons. But like, I really like this one, and my friends say like this is the best one I've done so far. And I'm really a fan of it. Let me know if you guys do any model kit stuff in the comments. I'm curious. And this is my new obsession, which is not healthy for my bank account whatsoever, but it is 5-star story kits. 5-star stories is a manga which I am reading. I'm gonna do a whole damn video on it. But these kits are just like incredible. I spent 6 months on this guy. Let me put it this way. I finished him. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted him, and the colors just, I wasn't happy about it, and he fell down. I'm like, oh no, he fell down. I guess I have to redo him, and I redid him. Oh crap! And I'm using car pigments on this thing, so that's why it's such a pain in the ass too. But this is my second time repainting him. He's not done yet. I still have a lot to clean up. I still have a lot of detail, especially in the head, to do, and he's just been a pain in my damn ass. But oh, I love this guy. Look at him. If you ever heard a 5-star story, if you do any of the kits, please let me know. I'm really curious because it's a very small community and it's unknown. I don't know how the guy makes a living on it, but damn, these things are so cool. I have another one I need to do, and I have another one coming in the mail. So, but yeah, this took up a bulk of my reading time. But oh, I'm so happy with it. He's such a pretty lad. 5. Okay, so this one I didn't do a review for because I want to do like a big video for this. But this is The Neuromancer by William Gibson. First off, great book. I read it before I went to Africa, and then I read it afterwards. So for the first half of the middle section of the book, I don't think I was all the way present for it, but it's a damn good book. Everything cyberpunk lives in the shadow of this book. Like, there are so many blatant ripoffs and references that, like, I don't think make a whole video to get into detail about it, but it's really well written. If you love cyberpunk, I know this is not the first cyberpunk novel written, but I can see how this is the grandfather, because everything just steals from this book afterwards. It's pretty ridiculous, like the blatant ripoffs you'll see. Like, let me just put it this way: the computer program that they go into when they go into the net, they literally call it the Matrix. So I get it. The Wachowskis probably did that as a reference, but like, it's kind of the whole crux of the movie trilogy, and it's just one aspect of this book. So this one's actually a gift from Samuel Delaney. I kind of forgot that I met him this year. We still talk and everything, but this one is Pym by Matt Johnson. And this is like a really great episode of the Boondocks. I know that's kind of derivative to say and messed up, but this is a really funny book. And it deals with a lot of racial themes and racial prejudices. I had one comment that said he doesn't really agree with the racial stuff it was saying in the book. And I kind of agree, just looking at everything like race that he does is not necessarily my viewpoint as well. But he does a great job of doing that in the book, and it's a really damn funny book. It's one of the funniest books I've read, if not the funniest. Fear and Loathing Las Vegas was also really funny, but this one may blow it out of the water. But it has all these cool scenes, and like the textual elements of the book also just really just drive it home for me. So please check out Pym. This is such a great book. And the next one, I can't find my damn copy, but it's The Third Reich by Robert Bolaño. Really interesting to read his first novel that was released after his death. I don't know how to say the word. It should have just been his debut novel. It was a great novel. Like, it peters out a little bit near the end, but it's just about a guy, speaking of model kits, who just focuses on his war game and is in this country and meets another guy, El Quemado, and just the tension between the two is crazy. It was so well written, and like, I can see how this is the guy who wrote 2666 and Savage Detectives later on. He just has such a great voice for mood. Well, like, a lot of authors try to capture that, just like the quiet living in like in a town and whatnot. But he just, I don't know, Bobby Bolaño is just in a class of his own. After this book, I think I might have to put him a bit higher on my personal tier list. I always saw him as a B+ author. I think he's in the A category for me now. It's the novel I thought the most about throughout the year after I read it. And also, I did an episode of the Spinecrackers on it, and we talked so much about it. I don't think my review is the best because we spent like 3 hours talking about it prior to that, so I think I missed a lot in my review. So please check out that episode. Okay, we're in the top 3, and these are all interchangeable. Like, I don't know if I can put one above the other. First up, we got The Mezzanine. Damn, this is a good novel. I've said this to some people offline, and this is where literature should have gone, in my opinion. Like 21st century literature, early 2000s, or whatever you want to call it. It's just about a guy just looking at the small stuff in life that nobody gives a damn about. It's taking the idea of McElroy's putting divinity in the mundane and just focusing on that to the next goddamn level. And it's the most boring book you'll ever read because he focuses on like CVS receipts and what the cashier does and what his shoes are made of and stuff like that. But like, it's just so beautiful at the same time when he puts all these mundane elements. He's not trying to spice them up. He's just showing them for what they are. And it's incredible. And when people talk about like theory like postmodernism and stuff like that, where we're just referencing a lot more pop culture and just like being more self-aware of the irony that we're using, like infinite jest. I think this was the more way to go. We're just focusing on the smallest mundane elements. Like, anybody in America can pretty much walk outside their house and experience this. Like 90% of the population. I don't know. There's just something bringing attention to stuff that's all around us that we don't pay attention to. It's just so damn gripping and just a huge testament to literature. I just love this book. I will read more of him, if not read all of him, because I'm stupid. Next up, I had to do it. It's Delaney. It's Phallos. It's great. It's a metatextual smut novel about a guy who's trying to find a book that he had twice in his life, but he can't find it. So he reads a summary of the book online and the book that he's reading the summary of is about a guy who, in ancient Greece, and just go all his sexual escapades in it. And then it has probably my favorite use of footnotes, maybe with House of Leaves being a close first or second. I'm not sure, because House of Leaves does some cool ass stuff, but like the footnotes at the end are so relevant. The footnotes throughout, some of them are not too relevant, but the footnotes are so relevant throughout, where they start talking about the novel like, hey, you didn't include all the lesbian stuff. So like other people recognizing like, hey, when we read this book, we focused on these other elements. And I'm sure you've seen in all my reviews, there's elements that I haven't focused on. Somebody mentioned that in my Vits review, where I didn't really focus on the World War II Holocaust themes in there and whatnot. But the fact that it addresses this book, the fact that it handles like, modern internet culture, because we've all been trying to find stuff on the internet that we just can't find sometimes, just keep searching for it. Internet culture, gay culture, ancient Greece, literary culture, all into like this super tiny book. It's just so incredible. I can't believe he did it. Fun fact, this image is Photoshop, and that is actually his partner's Dennis' hands on the image of Phallos. I thought it was just something they found, but this whole monster is Photoshopped together, which is pretty cool. Number 1, a book that blew me away, and a book that I really got to read more of this author. I should have, when I couldn't find interesting stuff to read, I should have just binged and bought his books. But that's New Jusei Mountainhead. What an incredible book. I'm glad he's gaining some traction, because like, again, just like a sexual travel log, just his focusing on the Klong in Thailand, which I do want to visit one day after this book, guys. If you read this book, you know how crazy that is. I'm less scared of the crazy prostitution there and more scared of the river of scorpions he depicts in the book. It just really feels like a smut book for the modern age. And just like, I can't stop thinking about that shower scene and how he just like, I hate saying it because it's kind of humorous, but really captures like the liminal space, and not the liminal space, well, I'm in the back room and then those monsters are attacking me, but where you just kind of see something, again, so mundane, and it just captures your eye, like when you're in like a mall, empty mall, or like an empty gym or something like that. Like, man, this place is so weird now. And all the messed up stuff he experiences and he focuses on, and the amount of honesty and courage it takes to write a book like this, it's really impressive. And the dude just knows how to write, and he just has an interesting life. So I definitely gotta read more of that. Okay, now for the two things that I've seen this year that I actually liked more than anything I've pretty much read, and that's Primal and Cyberpunk 2077. Actually, I think going through the list, I don't know if I enjoyed them more, but they've definitely been on my line. Actually, I probably did enjoy them more. It's one of those things. Primal by Gendy Tartakovsky, the guy who did Samurai Jack. Season 2 came out this year, and I've watched like this show twice pretty much. I'm gonna watch it a third time this coming weekend with my friend. For a show with like pretty much no dialogue about a caveman and a T-Rex, which is like super genre-y fiction, it's so beautiful and so heart-rending. Like the first episode is just a punch to the gut. I don't even want to spoil anything if it's just not like me. I'd say definitely go watch Primal. It's only 2 seasons and it is incredible. And I actually like the ending a whole bunch. So Cyberpunk 2077, ooh, man. I thought it was going to be a dumb action show because the video game tanked, and my friend was telling me about it because he bought it. So I wanted to watch it. It just looked like a dumb action show. My friend's like, hey, want to watch it? Like, yeah, I wanted to watch this too. Let's watch it. Man, we were feeling it at the end. Like, I've been listening to that main theme. Like, it's such a good story, and it's such a sad story. And the thing that's really tough about it, because it's a Latin, I think he's Mexican. I'm gonna say he's Mexican. Main character gets into crime, and just to see where it goes near the end, I won't spoil it, but it's heart wrenching because I'm watching this, and it's like, man, dude, this guy could have a better life for himself, but he had things against him in his personal life, and he was working against himself too. So he's also responsible for it. And you know, even though it's just this cyberpunk show, like, man, I know people like that. I've seen people like that. So it was a really sad show. Me and my friend were both feeling it. So I'd definitely go check that out. So guys, that's my top 10 for 2022. Not a strong reading year for me. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it was a lot more growth for me in my personal life this year. Not to say anything bad happened. A lot of great stuff happened to me this year, actually. But I just couldn't get in the reading mood. But I'm feeling that tick again. I have a lot of stuff planned that I want to read this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to doing more stuff for this channel as well. I know it's been pretty damn dry on here, but yeah, thanks for sticking with me, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, or if you've seen any of the stuff I liked in this, or you're gonna look at the stuff I recommended here, leave a comment. I'm actually really curious to know what you guys think about it. And subscribe if you like. We passed 1,000 subscribers. Well, not again, but like, you know, thanks to Juan from Play by Visions. And yeah, just thanks to everybody helping me out this year. Have a great one.